Chiefs are signing Marquez Valdez-Scantling to a 3-year, $30 million deal. Never mind, they probably will not draft a wide receiver in the first or second round. I did not know it was this much money. The Chiefs will probably not draft a wide receiver. I highly doubt they draft a wide receiver in the first or second round now. This is huge. This is huge that they signed him for this much. This is still Zay Jones money, but you committed $18 million. You basically signed him to a 2-year fully guaranteed deal. It's basically a 2-year fully guaranteed.
Pelissero, he's trying to kind of play it up, hype him up, MVF. He's saying Tyreek Hill, according to Next Gen Stats, in Week 14 was clocked at 21.91 miles per hour in the 2020 season. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling hit 22.09 miles per hour in Week 11 last season.
Oh yeah.
So he's faster.
Oh yeah.
So
why don't we pull it? No. Remember this, everybody. Willie alert. Willie alert.
No, breaking. Willie
Remember
alert.
this. What game was it? I believe it was against. It could have been against Denver or the Browns. There's one run that Derek Carr did last year. Check it out on NFL Next Gen Stats. I don't have it right in front of me. Derek Carr went over 21 miles per hour when he did a long, I believe it was a 15, 20-yard run.
Derek Carr's fast.
It was an open space.
Yeah.
So it was wide open space. When there's wide open space, of course you're going to be able to run very quickly. What's good, Raider Nation? Season predictions, realistically, Saul Munoz. Yes. Look, we have to be as hyped as possible. We have never had more. We have to have Super Bowl aspirations. We have to have higher aspirations for our team. We have to set the bar a little higher. And I was disappointed last year, especially when the Gruden hit job happened. And I'm sorry for those who get triggered that I call it a hit job, but I just like to, characterize reality in that way. So, but what I will say is it was sad last year because we're like, well, I'd be happy if we at least went to the wild card, after all the stuff happened with Ruggs and Gruden. It's like, dude, let's kick it up a notch. We have good players. We got a good quarterback. We had a great defense last year. At least, the 15th ranked defense in the NFL in terms of yardage. So, look, we could do some things, right? And we almost beat the AFC champions in the playoffs last year, and we had a worse roster than we do today. We have a better roster than we clearly have a better roster than against the Bengals in the wild card game. So, look, the Chiefs have not improved. They've become worse. They're a significantly worse team without Tyreek Hill. There's no way you could spin this. That on paper at least, unless Marquez Valdez-Scantling becomes unlocked an amazing wide receiver due to Andy Reid's coaching, and Mahomes gets some favorable PI calls like he usually does for his receivers. That's the only way. That's the only way the Chiefs could really do something special this year. To be completely honest, I'm sorry, Hefe. You got to have high aspirations, Saul, and that's why I think Super Bowl.
I think Chargers are doing bull run. I think Chargers are gearing up for that. Obviously, Russell Wilson is going to try and see what, he's going to try and prove himself because, Seahawks haven't been playing him. But they run it a lot. Maybe he feels disrespected. He got paid but not played,
It's just not going to work. It is just, I just don't see, and this is the thing that I do not understand that people say about the Broncos. And look, I'm going to have a show with the AFC West starting next week on Wednesday at 4:30 Pacific time. I will plug that out right now. And some of my pre-recorded videos, I'm going to advertise that a little bit more. But April 6th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday, check us out talking to other AFC West people. So what I will say is this Russell Wilson thing, and one thing that I see a lot of people say is they say, the Broncos have a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball, and they just needed a quarterback. Who exactly are you talking about? Who is this weapon? They don't have one player that's close to the level of Keenan Allen, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. They don't. Honestly, I would go as far as to say Juju Smith-Schuster is probably better than every Broncos wide receiver. I think he's better than Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, there's a health issue, but I think he's more proven than Jerry Jeudy. That's for damn sure. And all better than Cortland Sutton, because Cortland Sutton hasn't been healthy and hasn't put up any great numbers lately because of that. And Tim Patrick, I think Tim Patrick is a solid depth piece wide receiver for the Broncos, but don't start acting like these people are Super Bowl contenders because they got freaking Russell, Mr. Unlimited. You know what I mean? They're not.
Mr. Cringe Limited.
Mr. Cringe. And look, you have to have Super Bowl aspirations at this point. If the AFC West is the best freaking division in the NFL and all this stuff, then why not have Super Bowl aspirations? Because I think we have the best roster in the division right now. I really do. I don't think Khalil Mack is as talented as Chandler Jones. I don't think any wide receiver on the Chargers is as talented as Devontae Adams. And I really, 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 and I've said this my whole life as a Raiders fan, I really do not think Mahomes or Herbert is better than Derek Carr. I have said that for probably a long time, even when it didn't look like the right thing to say for a lot of people. But I just think Derek Carr's never had the shot. And I think finally, I believe this will be the year that Derek Carr proves he is better than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I really do believe this is the year. Yeah,
it has to.
It must. Yeah, that's the expectation. You're right. Exactly. If it's not, all the Carr haters are going to come up, and people are going to be pissed.
They're quiet right now.
Yeah.
They're quiet right now, but they'll come right back out. Oh, my God, will they come back out?
We want to talk about this important thing, which is, the Brandon Parker signing. So we know that the Raiders signed Jermaine Illuminor. They extended him. He was a former Patriots, played offensive tackle for them while Josh McDaniels was there. Brandon Parker, former third-round pick by the Raiders in 2018. The Raiders have also signed him. The contract details were just released today. The signing was announced yesterday. Now, Brandon Parker has a one-year deal at $3.5 million. $2.6 million of that is guaranteed. $600,000 of that is a signing bonus, and the actual contract there is about $2 million of it guaranteed. So I was actually surprised to see this. This guy making $3.5 million. He made about $2 million last year. Yeah, it's not that big of a contract, but the fact that it's pretty much all fully guaranteed, I thought that was pretty crazy. I thought that was pretty significant. And I thought that says something a lot about what the Raiders' plans are at offensive line. A lot of people have been saying, what are they going to do with right tackle? Everybody, I think, was shocked. Not as shocked as the Devontae trade, but people were shocked to see that the Raiders opted to just re-sign talent that they already had. And a lot of people thought the offensive line was a problem, and it was a problem last year. But this move, extending Brandon Parker, making it 75% fully guaranteed, to me that indicates that the Raiders are very comfortable with what they have here. And it also indicates that maybe Tom Cable was the problem with the offensive line. That's another thing it shows. Was Tom Cable the problem, right? The only time that we've seen the Raiders offensive line be really elite was in 2019 when you had Gabe Jackson, the Pro Bowler, when you had Rodney Hudson, the Pro Bowler. And Brandon Parker, a lot of people kind of wrote him off because his rookie year in 2018, he had to play a lot of snaps because Donald Penn was injured. And the Raiders were never expecting Brandon Parker to be a year one starter like they were with Colton Miller, even in 2018. Brandon Parker, 6'8", 305 pounds, big ass dude. 26 years old though, still really young. If he pops this year, man, maybe he can get himself a big contract. $2.6 million of his deal is guaranteed. Obviously, the grades have never been there. The grades have never been that good. He played a lot of snaps in 2018. Actually, played more snaps in 2018 than he did in 2019 and 2020 because the injury to Donald Penn was so significant. But he played a lot of snaps last year, especially after Leatherwood didn't work out at right tackle. We had to slide him to guard. And it looks like the Raiders have faith that he could seriously compete and be a starter because we don't have Illuminor's contract details out right now, but we do know that Brandon Parker is paid not like a starter, but at least somebody that you expect to play. He's definitely going to make the team, and he's definitely going to play. Maybe could still be a depth piece. Who knows? I think he could be a starter straight up because physically it's always been there. It's always just been his footwork and coaching, and we're going to get into his draft profile in just a second. So it's totally possible. And think about some of these people who we've signed to guaranteed deals like this. Solomon Thomas, $3.5 million. It was all fully guaranteed. John Brown, I think it was also the same deal, about $5 million, all fully guaranteed. So similar ballpark of numbers. When it's fully guaranteed like that, you expect these people to play and be on the team. That's what you do when you guarantee that money. Yeah, I know John Brown didn't work out, but that's because he demanded a release. Solomon Thomas ended up staying because it was fully guaranteed. Quentin Jefferson stayed because it was fully guaranteed. So expect Brandon Parker to seriously compete. And at the same time, he could be a starter. I mean, he straight up could be a starter for this team. And I think that's the plan with Josh McDaniels. That's the plan with Josh McDaniels and O-line coach Brasillo. Okay,
but so the O-line though. So are you part of this? Are you of the mind that it is like all on Tom Cable? Like, what's your diagnosis last year of our O-line problems?
I'm not going to go ahead and just say that it's all on Tom Cable because at the same time, I really like that what he did with Sam Young when he had Sam Young fill in at right tackle in 2020. I actually think he did a great job. Actually, Sam Young had his highest PFF grade in his career, and he had like a 10-year career under Tom Cable, and it's not like he hadn't, played significant amount of snaps before. So I'm not going to say it's all Tom Cable.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter what I think because the coaching staff thinks clearly the coaching staff thinks it's all Tom Cable. Now, Jermaine Illuminor in another way, it's like, okay, you have some experience with this guy in New England, so maybe that's why you think he'll work out. But the signing of Brandon Parker, either they always liked this guy as well and thought they could do something special with him, or they thought Tom Cable just didn't utilize this guy correctly because look at his PFF grades. It just hasn't worked out. 53 pressures last year. That's a decent amount. So they must think they could do something special with Brandon Parker that Tom Cable couldn't. So it's not about what Willie thinks. I think Josh McDaniels and Coach Brussillo believe that they can get more out of Brandon Parker, and a lot of people were wondering, what is this guy going to be? Coming out of North Carolina A&T, Brandon Parker, 2018 draft, third-round pick. He doesn't have his bench press time here, had a 5.440 time, slower than Colton Miller coming out of the draft. His grade was 5.9. He was, anticipated to be a backup / special teams player. That's what people thought Brandon Parker was going to be coming out of college. But what was always great about him is that he had good athleticism. He had really good length. He's 6'8", so he has really good arm length. That's really good if you're pass protecting as well. But the footwork was uneven. The technique was not always there. So maybe Brussillo can finally get a lot out of Brandon Parker. And they're giving $75 million, or 75% of his contract is fully guaranteed. So they're going in with this guy. Brandon Parker, we'll see what he could do with the team. We'll see what the future of the Raiders is. And that's the thing. When you guarantee a contract fully, what does that mean? Anthony Everett, I know he had a $4 million deal, but $3.3 million of that is fully guaranteed. Just like with Brandon Parker. So this is another scenario where 75% of the contract is fully guaranteed. It's basically a fully guaranteed contract, right? The way that I'm looking at this is I'm saying, look, this guy's going to compete, probably start. He's probably going to start. If you're fully guaranteeing him, he's probably going to start like that. So he might start and push. Maybe he's going to push Rock Ya-Sin, going to push Trayvon Mullen on the outside, push Nate Hobbs. Maybe he's going to compete in the slot. Probably not. I think Everett plays a lot on the outside. Now, same thing with Brandon Parker. Illuminor, is he going to start a right tackle? I don't know, because Brandon Parker has almost a fully guaranteed deal. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we don't draft a cornerback high in the third round. For us, high is third round. Cornerback high in the third round.
At this point, yeah.
Or a tackle in the third round. We'll see what happens so far. But, look, when you got people like Everett having this deal, 75% guaranteed, you got Brandon Parker, 75% guaranteed as well, expect that to mean something. Expect that to mean that you're putting your money where your mouth is, and these people are going to play. So these people are seriously going to play. That's what I'll say.